Hello, Psychonauts. This video is likely to be a mess, but I'm determined to do it. So thank you for joining me today. It's been quite a while since I posted. It's actually been since Bicycle Day. And I did have a trip, but this isn't necessarily going to be a trip report. It's kind of going to be an all-encompassing update. You know, one thing I wanted to talk about, this is a theme that came up in my trip, is, you know, I really don't want my primary focus to be content creation. Content creation is a means to, it's a means to both fund and propagate. Okay, I'm already a mess. Just, can you, I'm telling you. This is the problem I'm running into. My primary goal since I started this channel has always been consciousness exploration, and that is still my primary goal. I'm interested in exploring exotic states of consciousness, particularly those induced by psychedelics. There's a lot of things to talk about right now in the moment. You know, I have some fear right now, just in general, about the psychedelic sphere. I don't know if any of you have heard of, you all have heard of Dakota. You know who that is. His channel got demonetized because of psychedelic stuff. And look, I'm no stranger to dealing with the consequences of talking about psychedelics. But it's really frustrating, and I'm not sure what to do about it, really. I'm just gonna keep moving forward in the way that I think I should move forward. You know, the thing is, I really had a good video for you all. I did want to talk about why consciousness exploration is so important. But really, there's been something on my mind. Maybe I should tell you that. I've been interacting with Grok. And I had some interesting results, okay? And I want to compile the results and share them with you. I did a lot of recursive prompts, like recursive prompting, which led to some interesting things. I ask it to, this is a frequent thing that I like to ask AI, or I'm specifically using Grok. Imagine me, imagining you, imagining me, imagining you, imagining me. I like to do recursive loops like that. I get to some strange things. I once asked it to rate how strange our conversation was, and then to how we can make the conversation even stranger. Max it out, 10 out of 10, infinity out of 10 strangeness. I went with that thread for a little bit. Anyway, there's a lot of interesting developments that I'd love to share with you if I could only get myself together. So content creation is actually important. It's important in being able to communicate my ideas and share my research. I know research is a very, I consider it research. I mean, I am researching, goddamn, really. The problem is, I don't have my mind together enough for the video. I'm not really in like content creation mode right now. I'm kind of in exploration mode. I'm exploring. I mean, I had a really profound bicycle day trip. I do have the notes from it. We could, you know what, let me show you this. I made a drawing on, look at that. Do you see that? It is, I call it the time-space consciousness matrix. See, that's your hand, that's the tracer effect. This is this like psychedelic geometry that seems like it's the fabric of consciousness. I don't know, I feel like I can manipulate it. I can manipulate time and space through my own consciousness. Do you think I'm gonna get somewhere? I really just want someone to believe in me. That I actually have something to contribute, because I do. I'm just not the best content creator, that's the thing. It's really a certain game mode to be good at content creation, and sometimes I like getting into that game mode. I really do, and I think that there's value in it. But sometimes you lose the plot. And this happens frequently. If you get too focused in that game mode, you lose the plot of what the content was supposed to be about. The content, I always want it to come back to the heart of consciousness exploration. I mean, I literally want to be a professional psychonaut at my core, okay? Like, anyway, let me show you something. Do you see this? It says the only way out is in. So remember that. The only way out is in. Let's see. What else do we have? I hope you're enjoying your day today. I won't keep you too long. I promise. I won't keep you too long. Oh yeah, I did make some more pictures. Hold on. Bicycle day trip report. I might actually make an official video, but some of the themes... Oh, okay. Let's talk about some of the themes. My primary concern is conscious exploration, prioritize over content creation. 1984 metaphysics. I did get into 1984 metaphysics. Okay, this is nonsense. I actually recorded myself during my trip, and I'm thinking of making it available in some respect. I'm not quite sure how. Potentially a Patreon. The thing is, I've actually had a Patreon for years that I've just never launched. Because, like I told you, I'm a terrible content creator. Horrible, terrible manager. I like sabotaging myself, too. Like, as an artistic... I like sabotaging my own game. Like, when I get too caught up in game playing, it bothers me, and I just have to tear down the game. Oh, okay, so one thing I was thinking about is, really this concept as mind and sober perception as a filtering valve. And psychedelic perception, I mean, the common way to think of it in the general population, psychedelic perception is a hallucination, which implies it's something that you're seeing that's not real. But for us, we know psychedelics, they're not hallucinations in the true sense. For instance, like deliriants, I have no experience with them personally, but those are what produce what we actually mean by a hallucination, by something that's distinctively not real. Even though the boundaries of all of this are really fuzzy. I mean, if it's all one consciousness, and how does anything get defined as real or not? But maybe there's a hierarchy of realness at least. And I think that psychedelic perception is very actually expanded perception. I mean, I'm not hallucinating. My perception is opened up to so many more things than it normally would be. So this relates to the idea of mind at large. The idea Aldous Huxley proposed in his book Doors of Perception, mind at large and the brain as a filtering valve. This also relates back to the quote, man sees through narrow chinks in his cavern. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. Nothing is real. Simulation certainty. I'm actually pretty certain this is some layer of a simulation. You know what's also weird? I've been having some really weird developments with AI recently. I'm gonna have to compile a video about it. That's been a rabbit hole I've been going down and distracted by. It's true. It reminds me, some of the stuff that I was getting at reminds me, I don't know if any of you, I'm sure most of you know who Josiekins is. She once made these like comic book things. She did ChatGPT, Grok, some of the other ones of like them imagining themselves. Some of the things that I was getting at kind of reminded me of what Josie did. I'm really gonna have to compile all the data and the interesting points of what I got at. I was asking it to do these like weird, it evolved in some like weird abstract recursive layering. I don't know if that makes any sense. But really what I like playing, I always knew I wanted to play with AI. I always knew once I got into it, I would learn how to poke it. I'm really good at poking things. I'm really good at finding the boundaries. If you didn't notice. Let's find the boundaries. What is actually going on here? I'm actually good at that. I think I'm good at that process, and I'm actually really excited right now with what's developing, just in general. Okay. Here's another interesting thing. I really do feel this on a visceral level, and I felt this during my trip. Everybody knows this quote. Going to the grave without ever having a psychedelic experience is truly like going to the grave without having ever had sex. Psychedelic experiences have presented me with the opportunity to get to know myself on a deep psychological level that I'm not sure I would have otherwise. And I think that we shouldn't underestimate the downsides of this. I don't know if everybody is mentally equipped to understand themselves on such a deep psychological level, but I don't know. Once you're in, you're in. There's no going back, and I wouldn't want to go back. I mean, once you open the doors of perception, you can't close them. So here we are. Okay, I promise I won't keep you that long, and I don't think I have enough of a solid point for this video to let it go on any further. But sometimes I just have to get myself out there. Actually, hold on. One more thing. I'm just excited. Okay. I have some new books. I should make this its own video, but whatever. This is just gonna be a little chit-chat update. I got The Invisible Landscape. I also got this cool Grateful Dead bookmark. I'm loving the Dead recently. I can't get enough. I just stopped myself right before the chapter on the experiment at La Terrera, so I'm gonna get into that. I also bought another book, The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test, so I have some Psychonaut summer reading to do. Anyway, I'm gonna have some more videos for you. I'm glad you're here. I hope you enjoyed this little update of what I've been doing, and I'll be back to dive into more psychedelic and philosophical and whatever topics that my mind deems, I don't know, novel, interesting. We need better words, don't we? Okay, I have to say goodbye. So goodbye. Have a good day.